In a world and time when so much is changing, there is still so much of our culture that has to be documented and kept alive. Who are the bearers of these precious living cultures? How do they pass on a knowledge transmitted through the ages? What they represent has survived colonization, conflict, marginalization, and yet they persist. Sila ang sisidlan, the living vessels that store dayaw, our knowledge, our pride. Our series on the culture bearers, our Gawad Manlilikha ng Bayan awardees or GAMABA continues. This time, we look at those masters who are still with us, whose continuing work we must acknowledge, learn more about, and preserve. Northern Luzon is a home of 3 GAMABA winners we feature in this episode. The first is a kalinga teacher. The second is a maker of hats from Abra. The third, a weaver from Iloilos Norte. What can we learn from them as we begin to admire the complexity and the richness of their work? A weaver from Pinili, Iloilos Norte, and perhaps the oldest of the GAMABA winners, at the time when she was honored, Magdalena Gamayo's frail frame and quiet demeanor belies the strength of her weaves and the impact of her work on her community.
Magdalena Gamayo, well, when she was given the award in 2012, she was already 88 years old. But I think as early as 16, she already learned the art of weaving. The abel, the Ilocano abel. Abel is the kind of term for hobby, no? And she has a very, very vast repertoire of abel weaving, especially the binakol pattern. She knows many, many other patterns. Some of them are very difficult to make. Magdalena Gamayo, in spite of her age, can continue doing all those important, very important designs.
Gamayo specializes in the weaving of the hardy cotton fabric called abel by the Ilocano. The binakol pattern, a complex abstraction said to represent the whirlwind, is one of her specialties. Many variations of the binakol exist, and she still retains the complex mathematics of its construction in her mind and in her heart. But for a skill to survive, there is a need for base raw material of her choice, kapas or locally grown cotton.
Isu tadi ma'am adunga kulay na panait di tabanggar kapag datangan mo.
Gamayo's wish is for more young Ilocanos to learn from her and to inherit and carry on the knowledge which she is only a vessel of.
Tatindya kang mumanta Bakita mo to na yun, di mamo no, ababati biyagkon, no, na manayong pay, no, madanong ko ti sa nga gasutatawan, ano saan. Nimiso nga ikarkararag ko na po, Diyos, no, manayo na kailangan siya. Kaya po, mapayag pay. Anong dati rigat ko nga sa tikinabakit.
Magdalena is a master of a wide range of repertoire. She can do many designs, techniques, color combinations that a single weaver will not be able to do. So she's really very unusual. That was what made her stand out from all the others. Also the refinement of her technique. So again, quiet person, huh? But beautiful textiles.
Solid Norte is really a very strong sense of community. They really are able to build strong sense of solidarity among themselves. That's why when you look at Ilocano structures, they're quite simple. Even the churches show these structures. There are very few ornaments. What you see is the solidity of structure, simple and compact. Anything compact is more durable. So this is what I can say about Magdalena Gamayo. She really showcases the best of the Ilocano mind.
In the work of Magdalena Gamayo, we see how physical frailty and age have not hindered her from continuing to weave and to teach. In the work of Teofilo Garcia of Abra, we see how a close relationship with nature can shape a practical object of endurance and beauty. A gourd hat may seem like a simple thing, an item dismissed as a folksy Filipiniana. But in the creations of Teofilo Garcia, an Ilocano living in San Quintin, Abra, the gourd hats or tabungao that he creates are a result of agricultural knowledge, time-honored and functional design, and simple but pleasing aesthetic sensibilities. What others may see as just a hat is in fact an object that shows just how deeply traditional Filipino craftsman was attuned to his environment. For Garcia, it all begins with growing the perfectly spherical upo.
Duwa nga klase ti panagara ti marami na kalulog. Para ti manalo, simple laeng. Tabungaw, oser, why, dansa. Ti may kadwa, para ti opisyal, ang rugimot lang ti tabungaw, poser, why, mito, ken barnis. Dahil ti pagmulaan, ti pamayak ti dayayen, matulungan ti bugaso, anti-fertilizer. Ta iso ti pintas ti paritat panagdakkel ti tabungaw.
With a perfect gourd to work with, he now begins the process of creating a hat.
Malpasen nga maani rin yung tabungaw. Ragadyan ti yun nga agkatwa. Pagkatapos, ang pasanaday dyan, no malungsot dalusan. No madalusanen ipamaga. Apaman nga mamagaan, mabalinin nga singun para aramitin na kalubuhay. No madisinyon, nakasagana mo ta dyan, lingkan, sakam, rapan, sa gusto. Papasan na nga ma-assemble. So, mati pa na may gusto mo rin dyan decoration. So, yan dito. Diyan na dyan barnis. Dyan barnis. Makalong manakita. Gana nga tumangko. Kasi pa nanguray mo itatangkon na baka makabulan. Makabulan pa 1 month.
With the GAMABA recognition came the sudden resurgence of interest in the hat as a statement of one's identity, as well as a need for Teofilo to pass on his knowledge.
Itag damamang na natubing anak na di National High School sa San Quintin. Ito pangisok ko mo.
You know, it's very rare that you find a person who becomes interested in one seemingly curious item, a hat, no, made of gourd, and you know, he single-handedly was able to really master the skills necessary for making very strong hats. The tabungaw of the people of Abra, of the Tingians, and if you look at the surface, the hat seems to be simple, but if you look underneath the hat, it's very intricate. And one thing good about Teofilo Garcia is that he was able to really impart his knowledge to the young kids in his community. Now it's part of the school system. I think the Department of Education in his region was able to make the tabungaw making part of school curriculum. And so I don't think this tradition will disappear anytime soon, simply because of the way he was able to teach the young people in his community how to make itabungaw.
He's really an unusual person because since the time that he was awarded, they have been able to put together a program in elementary school. Practical arts, 1 whole year yata or 1 semester of curriculum based on his hat weaving. Now, and it's very interesting kasi the planning starts with the planting of the upo. They start with the planting of the upo, and then he teaches them. It's a special variety of upo, not any variety will do. And then yung harvesting, and then yung collecting of materials, and there is a curriculum. So he's really an unusual person to be able to do that and to teach it. He teaches it in the elementary school in his community. For me, that's the ideal, really, of GAMABA. So you have to give it to him. He's such a quiet man also.
Alonso Saclag was given the award in the year 2000 because he was a dancer, very good dancer. Alonso Saclag is also a musician, no? He knows how to play the nose flute of the kalinga, gangsa, the kolitong of the kalinga, and many other instruments of the kalinga. So he's a master of the musical instruments of the kalinga and of the dances and architecture.
Indeed, Saclag, a native of Lubuagan, is very different from the other GAMABA masters in that he is devoted to preserving not just a particular aspect of his culture. His passion covers dance, music, chanting, architecture, spiritual and social rituals of the kalinga. The Awichon village in Lubuagan is his own tribute to the kalinga culture he grew up loving.
Para ma-preserve ang kultura, sa sarili kong gastos, ginawa ko na ito. Bumili ako ng lupa dito. Walang tao dito noon at walang tubig dito. Kaya parang itong lugar na ito ay plateau, parang mesa, Awichon mesa. Yan. So ginawa ko ito at my own expense. Pag may kaunti akong pera, nagkaya ako ng tao dito para magtrabaho, binibigyan ko sila ng dito kumakain at binibigyan ko sila ng parang sahod nila at ano man ang pwede kong ibenta basta lang matapos ito, ibenta ko. Ibang rice terraces na maliliit, kung may baka, animal ako na kalabaw, ibenta ko para lang may gastusin dito. Sarili akong ginawa para ma-preserve ang kultura. Noon, pag lalo na kung successful ang kayo sa tribal war, isa yun na parang victory dance. Ang isa, kung may parang piyesta ganun, pues sumayaw at may parang mag-asawa, parang wedding parang pwede rin yun, sumayaw. Pero nag-umpisa noon yung sayaw na iyon sa victory dance sa tribal. Kaya walang ngumiti kasi warrior. Pati babae walang ngumiti sa sayaw na yun, tachok. Pwera yung salip na ang tawag namin doon ay salip, yung parang courtship na babae at lalaki. Moy ja ipaila, oh moy ja ipaila, elala, 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 kalinga, kopyan ja kalinga, elala. Nung bata ko, interesado ako sa sound ng gang. Pati yung mga kanta namin, mga parang yung ballad, yung mga victory song, yung kanta para sa namatay na matanda, yun, mga salidumay, ganun. At hanggang lumaki ako, yan pa rin ang kwan. So, nung nag-aral ako, parang palagi akong naughty. Parang gusto ko yung moving. So, hindi ako nakapag-graduate ng college dahil foolish nga ako, naughty ako noon. Pero pagdating sa dance, kanta, magaling ako doon. Kaya inisip ko na yan na yata ang gift ko kay Lord. Kaya hindi parehas ang gift ni Lord sa mga tao. Lalo dakon Ilogwagin.
In Alonso Saclag, we see a Filipino who is passionate about the preservation of all aspects of his culture, and the passion, even at his age, seems unabating. The establishment and training of the Kalinga Budong dance troupe he established is easily the most accessible form of learning for both his Kalinga participants and his eager audience.
Ay, ay,
Alonzo Saclag's commitment to preserving the culture of a warrior society may strike some of us as anachronistic. What is he truly reviving? Courage, cultural pride, the memory of a journey that as people have taken from being members of a tribe to being part of a nation.
Rasa kinta ipapas, la 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 la, la la.
That through hell and high water, he holds these huge festivals and workshops in Kalinga. And that means he's a good organizer. He calls together not only his community, but now I think neighboring communities. They come together, they have their festivals, and they compare and contrast, and they do this all in the spirit of oneness. Now, in the Cordilleras, this is very important. No? There are few people that can call together such groups. And so the fact that he calls them, and then the topics, sometimes it's for an instrument making festival, sometimes it's for a dance festival, sometimes it's for singing. But I have on several occasions marveled at the fact that he is capable of doing this. It's hard to do. Yeah.
Ayo insalido may diwas.
Earlier, I asked, what can we learn from the GAMABA awardees from Northern Luzon? Well, we may not learn the intricacies of weaving a kusikos pattern, nor understand the social fabric of a traditional warrior society, nor the way of making a hat from a gourd. These are the end products of their work. What we can learn from, what will be most useful and relevant to our lives today is the humility and the perseverance with which Alonzo Saclag, Magdalena Gamayo, and Teofilo Garcia have lived their lives. Theirs is a hard choice. In the face of a changing world, they've quietly gone on, doing what they love. They sought no acclaim, no recognition, no honor from a world that has yet to learn how to look and value what they stand for. Yet, slowly but surely, the recognition has come. The state, through the National Commission on Culture and the Arts, has seen to that. It is up to us now to acknowledge the gift that they have given us and to say thank you for choosing to be bearers of Dayaw, our knowledge, our pride.